Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video because it has been a while since a new eyeshadow palette has really gotten me excited, but I have one today. I ordered this palette recently. I'm gonna do something different here. I'm gonna insert a swatch of this palette for you guys so you can see how beautiful it is. I was actually swatching it right before turning on my camera and I can't wait to dig into this thing. We're gonna test it out together today. I've got a couple other things from this brand as well, including some new areas that they've dipped into. We'll talk about all of that. Before we get into all the good stuff though, if you are a new visitor here, let me wish you a special welcome. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Also make sure that your notifications are turned on. And with that said, let's jump right in. Okay, so we're talking about the brand Sydney Grace. Now, if you have not been with me for a long time, you probably don't know about my long-standing love affair with this wonderful company. They are an indie brand. You can buy their makeup online only. And I absolutely love them. They have the best eyeshadows ever, especially if you like a very strong, beautiful, metallic foiled shimmer. Nothing comes close to Sydney Grace shimmers. So they had a sale recently. Unfortunately, the sale is now over, but you can buy these products on their website right now. And even at full price, I highly recommend any one of these. I guess I shouldn't say that. A few of these I haven't tried out yet. I'm just anticipating that I'm going to love them. I've tried so many things out from them over the years. They never disappoint. So during their recent sale, I picked up their new Cozy Cafe palette. This is the palette that I swatched for you guys or showed you guys in the intro. It is stunning. It's like kind of green, but not too green. It's kind of pink, but it's not too pink. It's a little bit gray, but not, I don't know. There's a lot of gray in there. But even those kind of excite me because if anyone can do a good silvery gray, it's Sydney Grace. I also have been noticing, this seems to be a bit of a trend. Maybe it's kind of as we go into fall. I'm seeing a lot of grays and greens and kind of grungy colors being released right now, which let's be honest, I don't need any eyeshadow palettes or colors. I have something of all of those, but you put together a good color story for me, I'm definitely gonna get excited. We're gonna play with this thing together today. Also from Sydney Grace during the sale, I picked up one of their powder bronzers. This one's just a single. It doesn't even come in packaging, which I knew that, but I just forgot. I don't really have a home for this, so I might have to go online and get a palette or something. Probably have one laying around somewhere. So this is their powder bronzer. I got the shade Banana Bread. Very curious to see how this goes on. The swatch online seemed very kind of rosy and almost like a rosy cool tone, but it looks very warm in the pan, so I'm curious to see how this is going to apply. We will try that out together today. I also have a couple individual shadows that I'll swatch for you guys. We probably won't use those, but anytime they have some new individual shadows, since I own pretty much all of the other ones that they've released that aren't too colorful, I don't really buy the colorful ones anymore, but if they have a good pink or a good champagne, I'm gonna pick it up. So I have a few of those that we'll get into. But as for the exciting new things that Sydney Grace is doing, they have some body products over on their website. They're now doing some nail polishes. I haven't tried out either of those, and I think some of the body products are men focused, so they're marketed towards men. They also have fragrances, and this is what I jumped on during the sale. So they had a day, if you're not familiar with the Sydney Grace sale, which they do twice a year, once around Christmas time, once in the month of July. They have a different type of sale each day. So one day they do order $50 or $60 worth of product and you'll get a free palette. Order $50 worth of single shadows, you'll get $40 of single shadows for free. I don't know. It's kind of fun and interesting, but they do mystery boxes every year, and this year one of their mystery box options were fragrances, which I thought was kind of interesting. I thought, you know what? This might be a fun time to try out some new fragrances. So I ordered 2 of the fragrance mystery boxes. Actually, I think what I did is I ordered this palette full price, the Cozy Cafe, and then I got the mystery box for free, and then I added 1 mystery box in addition. So the fragrance mystery boxes that they have, they still have these available on their website. I don't know that they'll be available long term. They do have some fragrances as part of their permanent line, but as far as I can tell, the fragrances in the mystery boxes you cannot purchase separately, which I was a little bit disappointed to see, because my hope was that I would try some of these out and maybe find 1 or 2 really good signature sort of fragrances that I could go back and purchase the full size of. But as of right now, I'm not sure that's the case. I know they're kind of new with the fragrance line, so maybe that will be coming in the future. They have 3 different options. They had a box of 6 sample sizes in a floral, a sweet line, and a warm line. So I did the floral and the sweet box. So far I've made it all the way through the florals, so I've tried out all 6 of the floral scents. It's gonna take me a little bit more time. Some of them I really love, some of them I'm not sure about, but fragrances are very tricky for me because sometimes there's a fragrance that initially I might not love, but it might grow on me if I give it a few more chances. But I just wanted to make you guys aware of those. I'm pretty sure these mystery boxes won't be available forever. As of right now, I just checked before filming this video and all of the fragrance boxes are still available. So I will link those down below in case you're interested. They're $35 and each box includes 6 different fragrances. This is what the fragrance bottle looks like. It's 10 milliliters of product. It has a little like twist up sprayer. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get right into the products. I want to start off with the bronzer. Let me just pin back my hair really quickly. As I mentioned, this is the shade Banana Bread. I'll insert a close-up of it right here along with all the pricing. Everything, I'll include prices on the screen for you guys. So there's 7 grams of product in here. I think that's pretty standard. I've got my Laura Mercier right here. It has 9, so just a little bit more. Do be aware though that they don't include the packaging with them. So when you're ordering from Sydney Grace, just keep that in mind. Some of the products that are in the powdered, you'll either need to have a magnetized palette floating around somewhere that you can pop them into or pick one up from Sydney Grace. And their palettes are really great, by the way. Before I try this, I do want to just give it a little swatch. This is the shade Banana. It looks really, it's like warm but also rosy at the same time. Has a bit of a sheen to it. I didn't catch that looking at it in the pan. That's interesting. It's very pretty. Let's give this a go. So I'm going to use a large powder brush today. Ooh, okay, so be careful. If your brush is really stiff, go in gently. You're going to get quite a bit of product. I'm actually going to dab my brush on the back of my hand. I don't want to go in too heavy-handed. Especially if you're worried that a bronzer shade's going to be too warm. You don't want to overdo it. You want to build up slowly. A little bit more, okay. Huh. It's pretty. I believe this was the lightest shade that they had available right now. By the way, I have also tried out some of their powder bronzers in their face palette. So I love their face palette. I have the light version. I think it's called their Luminous Light face palette, which is great, by the way. Highly recommend. This bronzer shade is definitely a touch warmer than the one in that palette. That one's more of has a subtle kind of cool tone to it, I would say. This one's definitely warm. I don't know, I read a review, or I think there were 1 or 2 reviews on their website of this shade that said it was a little bit on the orange side, so I was a little bit worried about that, but I don't know that I'd agree with that. Maybe if you over applied it, it'll pull a little bit orange. Again, I just recommend going with a really light hand and slowly building up. Let's move on. Before we get to the eyeshadow palette, I just want to put on a little bit of blush. We're going to go back to my J-Cat Beauty Blush Mallow Blush. This one is in the shade Sweet and Chic. I'm going to apply it with just a standard fluffy blush brush. I'm going to kind of tap the excess on the back of my hand and just slowly build this up in the apples of the cheeks. All right, now for highlighter, I thought about using my RMS highlighter again. I used this in a recent video. I've had it for just a couple of days now. But since we're doing a lot of Sydney Grace today, I thought it would be fun to pull out my Sydney Grace. I have some individual highlighters from them. This, honestly, this palette, I need to get another large palette from them because this thing is falling apart. I think this is like an old Coastal Scents one. But I do have several of their individual powder highlighters and they're so lovely. Let's go with this one. This is the shade Heaven. Just like it's kind of an icy champagne. It reminds me a little bit of Ozone, if you've tried that one from Nabla. Pretty light, pretty intense. You definitely want to use a light hand with this one. They actually have a lot more shades now. A few of the shades I have currently, I think, have been discontinued, but they do still have this shade available. Ooh, yeah, very punchy. Okay, now for the part you've probably all been waiting for. Let's dip into the Cozy Cafe palette. So once again, I'll insert a close-up for you guys right here along with the swatches. This thing looks so beautiful. I cannot wait to try this out. I also picked up 3 individual shades from them. I will get to these at the end. We'll swatch these towards the end of the video. I'm so tempted because of my pink gingham shirt to go with this center row. But I feel like these kind of green, sort of like mossy kind of beigey colors are sort of on trend right now. So I want to try that out today, that kind of look. We're going to start things off though first by brightening up my inner lid with this shade right here, which is the shade Almond Milk. The swatch of this color was insane. You guys know I love a good like matte white or like a lemony kind of milky shade. on my inner corner, my inner lid. Even if I'm topping it with a shimmer, just adds such a good like brightening effect to the inner part of your eye, which just opens up your eyes, especially if you're a little bit older. I don't know, I just think it helps a lot. Oh, I forgot I was gonna use my Sydney Grace brushes today, which have been getting overlooked. I love these Sydney Grace brushes. They sent these to me several years ago. For a long time, these were kind of my go-tos. They've sort of been overshadowed by my Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty brushes. Not really for any reason other than that they just ended up in my container. I don't really think too much about it. Okay, so I really want to jump over to this shade right here. This is the shade Cinnamon Latte, which looks kind of like a grayish, sort of like beige. I'm gonna pop that on just this fluffy, large blending brush. Start at the outer corner and just run this through my socket about halfway across. Very cool in tone. It's definitely not a warm tone palette, which I know some of you will love. I mean, I love warm and cool tones. Cool tones scare me a little bit more than warm tones do, but I get the sense that for most of my audience, they prefer like neutrals and cools rather than neutrals and warms. I feel like there's kind of like a dislike of anything that's too orangey. I know that's not everyone. I know some of you out there like something warm and kind of chocolatey and almost orangey, maybe pumpkin in color, but I know there's a lot of cool tone fans out there. Okay, let's jump over to a smaller blending brush. We're gonna take this shade next to it, which has a bit of a green tinge to it. This is Warm Croissant. I love the names of these. Coconut Cream, Toasted Bagels. We'll definitely use this kind of green shimmer today, which is not overly green, which I kind of love about it. It's just like a hint of green. It's like a pewter with a touch of green in it. So this shade we're gonna run a little bit below where we put that shade before. Now we're gonna take the green, this green shade right here. I'm gonna run that, actually I'm gonna use my finger for this, just to get maximum impact out of this shade. I'm gonna leave that inner quarter of the inner corner open and just run this across the center. Okay, now we're going to take a very small blending brush and we're going to go with this kind of, it's like a silvery champagne. It's Coconut Cream. And this we're gonna run on the inner part of the lid over where we put that matte ivory. I'm gonna overlap the green that we just put down just to blend those two shimmers together. And back with that same brush, I just wiped it off. We're gonna take a little bit more of this ivory matte shade and I'm just going to apply that right to my inner corner right there, just to brighten it up a bit. With that same small blending brush, I'm gonna take these two matte shades that we used in my crease together and just lightly run that under the outer half of the lower lash line and meet up with that outer corner. Kind of feather this into that shimmer that I just put down, just to shape out this outer corner a bit. Okay, normally I would jump over to my Wet n Wild liner, but because we have a black in here, let's do a powder liner today. I'm gonna grab a teeny tiny brush. This one's from Persona. This is their detail brush. I love this brush, by the way, the line and detail brush. I do use this one all the time. We're going to take black coffee and just run this right at the outer lash line, lightly flinging it up. It's kind of in a soft baby wing there. Ooh, that is dark. That's a very, very inky black. All right, that's gonna do it for the eyes. I'm gonna throw on a couple coats of the Wrap Lash from Revolution. Then I will come back and we will finish off with the lips. I'll show you guys some more swatches and we'll do kind of like a final overview. All right, this is what we have so far. Let's finish off with the lips. So I don't really have anything new for my lips, but I do have a Sydney Grace lip cream. This one's in the shade Bailey. I've had this for years, actually. It's one of my favorites for a nude lip. These are very, very pigmented. Let me just swatch this on the back of my hand to give you guys a quick little idea of kind of what you're working with these. So there they are. Very much more of a lipstick, I would say, than a gloss. So if you see the packaging of these, you think they are a lip gloss. These things have a lot of color in them, so be aware of that. We're gonna add a little bit of liner first. Let's go back to my LA Colors gel lip liner. This one is in the shade Rosé All Day. Raved about these a couple of months ago. I still think they're great. This is my only issue that I've discovered with these, other than that they're very hard to get your hands on. If you happen to find them in your drugstore, lucky you. I noticed this one I sharpened, and then like the actual, I don't really want to, did you guys see that? It's like separated from the tube inside. This is the downside of really cheap makeup products. You might find something that performs well when it's on you, but there's just always something about the packaging that usually falls apart. So what did I expect? That's okay. I'm okay with it as long as I'm aware that that's an issue. I can kind of work around it, but still, $1.98 for these. Or was it $2.98? Might have been $2.98 for a long wearing lip liner. It's a really good nude shade. Can't beat that. All right, we're gonna top that with Bailey by Sydney Grace. And why don't we throw just a little bit of gloss on top as well? This is just my Lawless Forget the Filler and Glazed, which I'm just about out of. Just in the center. Okay, and there we have it. This is the completed makeup look. What do you guys think of this one? Very pretty eye look, don't you think? Very excited to keep playing with this palette. I haven't even dipped into the grays or the pinks yet. I cannot wait to keep trying these. It's making me excited for fall, some of these dark kind of grungy colors. Before I go through and do kind of a review, I do want to just show you guys 3 shades that I picked up, the single shadows. First off is the shade Make It Happen. This one is like a matte light pink. These are such pretty shades to just throw all over your lid, especially if you have older eyelids or if you just like that kind of matte look. Look at that pigment, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about this one. Wow, that's stunning. Ooh, I cannot wait. Then I picked up this shimmer. I think their shimmers are called their pressed pigments if you're on their website. Browsing around their single shadows, the most metallic shades are their pressed pigment formula. This one is in the shade March to My Own Beat. Look at that. I have so many of these kind of pink toned shimmers that Sydney Grace has done, and I love them all. There's subtle differences between them, but they're all so good. I mean, just look at that, you guys. That's one swatch. Their formulas are just so insane. And then last up, I have a red tone, a deep red. This one is Hammock Time. Oh, that's a cute name. How many of you that have kids are all about the like canvas or nylon hammocks? My kids hang theirs up in our basement. We have an unfinished basement and like a post that's in the middle, and then it goes to like a half wall where there's another like post that, you know, holds up the floor above it. They put their hammocks on there and watch movies in our basement. It's so cute. Okay, there's Hammock Time. That's pretty. That's like a corally brownish red. That would be a pretty little eye look right there. I'm excited to give this a try. Okay, as for, I mean, I guess the only other new thing that I really tried other than the fragrances that we already kind of went through is the Banana Bread bronzer. So far, so good. I would give you a word of caution if you have very fair skin. My skin right now, it's summertime, so I'm kind of like a light, leaning light medium in my skin tone. I imagine when I'm at my fairest in the middle of winter, or if I had very fair skin, this might be a little bit too much color, or a little bit too warm for me. I actually like it. I think it looks beautiful, but I kind of see why that one reviewer that I read said this turned a little too orange on them. I'll keep playing with it. So far, I like it. I don't know that I love it. Like, I don't know though. I was gonna say, I don't know that I love it as much as my Laura Mercier. However, I didn't love that the first time I tried it. I kind of was a little bit hesitant about whether I like that or not. So maybe I just need a little bit more time with it. Formula is great. I definitely like the formula for sure. As for the eyeshadow palette, I can guarantee you're gonna see this on my eyes or linked in the description box a lot this coming over the next couple of months for sure. I can't wait to play with this again. I know Sydney Grace, not everybody is into Sydney Grace because they are an indie brand. Not everyone loves ordering makeup online. They're not super affordable. I mean, this palette, I think most of their larger full-size palettes are about $52. I think they are worth every penny. They are so good, but I know that $52 is not, it's not chump change. I mean, that's a good chunk of money. But if you like this color story, I definitely would give this one a look. This one kind of reminds me of a mix between the Unveiled palette, which you guys know I love. Like these two rows down here kind of are giving me Unveiled vibes, even though like some of the shimmers from light to dark are a little bit different. And then this row up here, some of it is mimicking the Love's Journey palette, which that one does have a bit of a like taupey green tinge to it as well. So if you wanted the perfect marriage of those two palettes in one, this would be the one. But that is going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys picked up anything during the Sydney Gray sale. Let me know if you would like me to come back and talk about the fragrances that I really liked. I'll be honest, I'm not gonna be your go-to person when it comes to fragrances. I don't like spending a lot of money on fragrances. I feel like I'm just getting into trying some fragrances out, and I'm definitely not good at like notes and describing things. So that might be a bit of a challenge for me, but if I happen to find one of these that like I just think is the best thing I've ever smelled, I'll definitely let you guys know. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me give you one final reminder to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.